Welcome back, Vicarious viewers. If this is your first time, my name's Vicente, and welcome to my review of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This will actually be my second attempt at this review, seeing as how I already recorded this with my mic on mute. So let's give this another shot, shall we? Growing up as a horror fan, I really loved these books as a kid. For me, it was the illustrations that really made these stories what they were. These almost unexplainable horrors from beyond some thin veil creeping into our realm. It was all very Lovecraftian. I didn't, however, like the updated books that came out recently that had some new illustrations that just didn't have that same creep factor. They were very cartoony in comparison. They just didn't translate as well. I guess it was definitely for kids more, but that's not what I loved about the original books. There was always some kind of like guilty pleasure in reading it and thinking like, ooh, this seems like something too scary for me. I shouldn't be reading this. And there was some excitement about that. I've always been that thrill-seeking horror fan growing up. They were grotesque, unnerving. They truly gave you a sense of dread that no other book had given me before. I love how this movie adequately captures that. Guillermo del Toro is very much in his element, bringing these creatures to life through mostly practical effects. There was a little bit of CGI, but it wasn't overdone, and it was used right. Fans of the books will obviously recognize images in the trailers and promos for Harold, the Red Spot, the Pale Lady, and the Big Toe, among others. But this movie also has its own little twists for this narrative, and there's another surprise story that I won't spoil for you, but I enjoyed it. The young cast here is pretty adequate. They do well enough with the writing, which does seem clunky at times, but it resembles that B-movie quality that adds to the nostalgia of 70s and 80s horror. This actually takes place in '68, and I think it helps. They don't have to accommodate any modern technology, which I think would have hindered a lot of the suspense. Big shout out to Troy James for bringing his creepy A-game. He played Baba Yaga in the new Hellboy, and he was the best part of that movie. I'm glad Guillermo del Toro could get his prosthetics on him in this movie. But I do have to give a negative call out to the over-the-top, cartoonish bully. Why can't we get a little more dynamic or relatable bullies these days? But this seems to be a staple of coming-of-age horror stories like this, especially with the current popularity of It and Stranger Things. This movie definitely plays to that set of caricatures. The super evil bully, the comedic asshole friend who never shuts up, the logical one who denies anything is wrong, the new kid who gets all the exposition, and even the ditzy sister. But they do begin to shine when the scares start. And the scares do come. I did jump a few times, but it doesn't rely on jump scares. A lot of the horror comes through the grotesque imagery and the building of suspense. These otherworldly horrors are inching creepily closer and can't be stopped. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. It is PG-13, so hardcore horror buffs may be left wanting, but the intensity of some of the situations and grotesque imagery will be too much for some of the younger audiences. If anything, parents might want to give it a watch before deciding if your kids can handle it. I'd say it's like a more mature Goosebumps mixed with the style of Trick or Treat. I wonder if there will be any future scary stories to tell on the big screen. I'd certainly welcome a sequel if Del Toro is still at the helm. At least in the meantime, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark will definitely make a great addition to anyone's Halloween watch list. I give this 4.5 Vicarious feels, just because it made my skin crawl. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Have you seen the movie already? Do you plan on going anytime soon? Let me know what you thought down in the comments. If you enjoy reviews like this, hit like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to know when my next review drops. And thanks for stopping in for this Vicarious View.